What has become a biannual event here in Niagara is the Psychic Fair here at the Holliday Inn in St. Catharines. We got to ask Stan Mallow, who hosts Paranormal right here on TV Kojiko and also organizes the Psychic Fair, what keeps bringing him back.
That's an interesting question. How did I get involved with it? One, it was a lifelong fascination with the psychic world, and it's something I always loved, always enjoyed, always enthralled about. And why not have as your profession that you can make a living with, something that you absolutely love and enjoy? So to me, this is fun. This is great.
And I know that you should take the show all over. Do you find that certain areas are more receptive to the psychic fairs as opposed to other areas?
Yes, in fact, that is true. Happily, in Niagara, where we are, that's one of the areas where people are really seeking, they're looking into things, they're questioning things. So this area here, yes, very, very much in tune with things of a psychic, paranormal nature.
And tell me about some of the exhibitors that you have here this weekend.
Okay, it really runs the gamut. We have tarot readers, we have palm readers, we have people who do numerology, astrology, you name it, and they're going to have somebody there who's doing it. We're also angel readings, past life readings. We try to have something for everybody.
So not only do you have the exhibitors at the fair this weekend, but you also have the seminars and lectures as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, that's one of the things that makes our show so special, in that while we do have the top psychic readers around and somebody wants to have a reading, we have every hour another lecture or demonstration, which is included free with admission, and we try to cover just about every subject from how to get in contact with your own guardian angels, developing your own psychic abilities. I myself, from my traveling museum of the paranormal, I'm going to be sharing some crystal skulls. In fact, we're going to have an open healing circle with them. And in fact, also Peter Sacco of Haunted Niagara will be giving a lecture on haunted things here in Niagara.
Now, we couldn't come to a psychic fair without speaking to a few psychics. Why don't we go find out a little bit more about my future? So, Eddie, can you tell me a little bit about your career? Because you weren't always doing psychic readings, were you?
No, I was a magician at one time. And I worked for about 10 years in Hong Kong. And I traveled over to Vietnam, but I was living in Hong Kong. And I also worked at the Lai Chi Kok amusement park in Hong Kong. And at that time, because it was a Chinese colony, British colony, I used to read the face rather than the tarot cards and the palm.
Here at the Psychic Fair, not only do they have all of the tarot readings and psychics, but they also have something called an organic transmuter. So I've been dying to know, I have to ask you guys, what exactly is an organic transmuter, if I'm saying that correctly?
Absolutely. What we have here are powerful energy devices that transform any harmful negative energies into more positive, balanced energy, effectively transforming the energy of your living space and your personal energetic field. So the device is actually comprised of a combination of metal particles and powdered crystals within an organic medium. This combination actually allows for energies to be attracted and accumulated by the device. Those energies are then transmuted and then re-emitted in a transformed state into any given environment.
So it's kind of like merging spirituality and science in a way, would you say?
Very much so. Indeed it is.
How did you discover that you had this gift?
I always knew I was different. I always felt more sensitive. I didn't really understand what was happening because we're taught to shut it down. I was sitting in a circle in a church. When I was doing a lot of soul searching, I investigated spiritualist churches, and we sat in circles doing things like reading flowers, reading drum beats for each other, and I was getting it right all the time. And the woman running the circle looked at me kind of funny, and she says, "You're getting all that." I didn't know I could do that. I tried it, and I found out I could do most anything I tried in terms of psychic abilities, and I started to realize what was happening. So many times when I'd feel weird or uncomfortable, I was picking up somebody else's energy, somebody else's feelings. So once I realized I could do that, more and more I got interested and I developed it, and then I realized this could actually be a conflict with my day job. So there was no question I gave up the day job. And this is what I do now. This is my only work, and I really love it. I'm really happy.
And like you said, some people, like back in the day, might have not been so receptive to this type of abilities that you have.
True, yes. Little children are always taught to shut that down. If you think you see a little man in the corner, your mom's going to say, "You're imagining that. There's nobody there." No, you don't have an imaginary playmate. Now go eat your rice or whatever, right? No, they're going to say something like that. They're not going to tell you it's real. So we just learn to not trust our own instincts, and that's what happens to us so much. And we have to be taught to relax and trust those initial impressions because they're the right one. So that's what psychic ability really is.
Thanks to Stan and the exhibitors for taking the time to talk to us today. Don't forget, Eddie will be on Stan's show Paranormal this Wednesday, 7 o'clock on TV Kojiko. Reporting for The Source, I'm Bianca Tomori.